Crimes against person, Article 246 to 266. Article 246, parricide. Number 1, person is killed. Number 2, deserved killed by the accused. Number 3, relationship desired and accused father, mother, or child, whatever legitimate or illegitimate or a legitimate other ascendants or other descendants or the legitimate spouse. Kinds. Number 1, bloodline, direct. Number 2, affinity, legal spouse. Article 247. Death or physical injuries inflicting under exceptional circumstance. Child, killed by father or mother, less than 3 years old, infancy. Absolutor cause, exempting circumstances, by reason of public policy and sentiment. Number 1, legal married person or parents is surprised his spouse or his daughter, later under 18 years of age, and living with him. It acts for committing sexual intercourse with another person. Number 2, he or she killed any or both of them of inflict upon any or both of them any serious physical injury in the act or immediately thereafter. And number 3, he has not promoted or facilitate prostitution of his wife or daughter, or that he or she had not considered infinitely of the other spouse. Article 46 for 248, murder. Number 1, persons kill. Number 2, accused kill him. Number 3, killing attended by any qualified circumstance. Number 4, killing not parricide or infanticide. Qualifying circumstances. Number 1, with the treasury taking advantage or of superior strength with the aid of arms of men, or employee of means by weakened the defense or the means of prisons, or ensure or afford impunity. Number 2, in consideration of peace and rewards of the promised. Number 3, by means of inundations, fire, poison, explosions, shipwrecks, standing of vessels of the derailment. Number or accused or upon the railroad or full of an airship by means of motor vehicles, or with the use of any other means of involving great waves of rain. Number 4, on the occasion of any of the committees of enumerated in the preceding paragraphs, or of an earthquake, eruption of a volcano, destructive cyclone, great waste and rain. Number 5, with the evidence premeditation. Number 6, with the cruelly and deliberately humanly augmenting and suffering of the victim, or the outraging, the scoffing at the person or corpse. Article 249, homicide. Person killed. Number 1, person killed. Number 2, accused killed him without any justifying circumstance. Number 3, accused had the intention to kill, which is presumed. Number 4, killing not be attended by the any qualified circumstance of murder or by the of the parricide or infanticide. Article 251. Death cause of tumultuous affray. Number 1, several person. Number 2, they not be composing groups organized for common purpose of acts, assaulting and attacking each other reciprocally. Number 3, several person quarreled and accused one another in cause of the tumultuous manner. Number 4, someone killed in cause of affray. Number 5, not be ascertainable who actually killed desired person or persons who inflicted serious physical injuries or who used the violence can be identified. Article 252. Physical injuries caused by the tumultuous affray. Number 1, tumultuous affray. Number 2, participants therefore suffered serious physical injuries or physical injuries of a least serious nature only. Number 3, person responsible not identified. Number 4, affirming to have used violence upon person or offended party are known. Article 253. Giving assistance to suicide. Act punishable is giving by assistance to suicide. Number 1, by assisting another to commit suicide whether the suicide is consummated or not. Number 2, by lending his assistance to another to commit suicide to extent of doing killing himself. Article 254. Discharge of firearms. Number 1, offender discharge firearms against or at another person. Presumption. Number 2, offender not intention to kill that person. Article 255. Infanticide. Child killed. Number 2, desired child less than 3 days or 72 hours of age. Number 3, accused killed said child. Infanticide, killing of any child less than 3 days of age, whether killer is parent or grandparents, and any another relatives of child and stranger. Article 256. Intentional abortion. Ways to committing intentional abortion. Number 1, by using violence upon person or pregnant woman. Number 2, by attacking but without using violence without consent of woman by administering drugs or beverage upon such pregnant woman without her consent. Number 3, by administrating drugs or beverage with consent of pregnant woman. Number 1, pregnant woman. Number 2, violence of extended of drugs or beverage administrative of that accused of an otherwise act upon such pregnant woman. Number 3, result fetus deaths early in the womb or after having been explained of therefore. Number 4, abortion intended. Number Article 257, unintentional abortion. Number 1, pregnant woman. Number 2, violence upon such pregnant woman without intending abortion. Number 3, violence intentionally exerted. And number 4, result of fetus death, either the wound of after being implied therefore. Article 262, mutilation. Number 1, by intentionally mutilating another or depriving him either totally or partially some essential organ is reproduction. A, constrictions of mutilations of organ necessary or generation such as the penis or ovarium. B, mutilation used forcefully of delivery to deprived offended party of the some essential organ or reproduction. Number 2, by intentionally making other mutilation, that is by looping or clipping of any part of the body of offended party another than essential organ that for reproduction of deprive him of the part of his body. Article 263, serious physical injury. Number 1, consequence of injury inflicted. Number 2, nature and character by the wound of inflicted. And 3, proper penalty. Number 1, injured person, insane or impaired, impotent of the build of consequence of the physical injuries inflicted. Number 2, injured person. A, losses of use of space of the power of hear and smell and loses an eyes and hand, foot or arm or legs. Or B, loses of the use of the such a member. Or C, becomes an incapacitated for the work of which we were therefore habitually engaged in the consequence of the physical injuries inflicted. Number 3, person injured. A, become a deformed. Or B, losses of another member of his body. Or C, losses of use therefore. Or D, become ill or incapacitated for the performance of the work on which has habitually engaged for the more than 90 days in consequence of the physical injuries inflicted. Number 4, injured person, become ill or incapacitated for the labor for more than 3 days but must not be more than 90 days as the result of the physical injuries inflicted. Article 264. Administration injuries, substance or beverage. Number 1. Offender inflicted upon another any serious physical injury. Number 2. Done by knowingly administering to him of any injury, substance or beverage of by the taking advantage of his weaknesses of mind is credently. And number 3. No intent to kill. Examples: X. A doctor wanted to kill his wife. W. One meaning of the mix of the poison into the coffee of his wife. After W consumed the coffee, she felt excruciating pain in the stomach. Seeing his wife his agony, X spin his wife is administered by the antidote dose. W did not die. What crimes committed by X? Serious physical injury. What is the husband simplest brought his wife to the hospital and it was doctors his theirs who administered antidote so that the wife did not die. Would yours answer must be the same. Prostrated parricide. Article 265. Less serious physical injuries qualified less physical injuries. Physical injuries not desired by the SPI. Incapacity for labor 10 or more days up to 30 days or required medical assistance for some period. Manifest intent to kill or offend injured person. Adding ignominy of offense. Verb. Victim, parents, ascendants, guardians, executor, teachers, or person who rank of PEA not constituting direct assault. Article 266. Slight physical injuries and maltreatment. Kinds of slight physical injuries. Incapacity for the labor of 1 to 9 days or requiring medical attendance during the same period. Number 2. Physical injuries not be preventing engaging the habitual work or not requiring medical assistance. Number 3. Ill treatment not causing any injury. Article 266-A. Rape of Article Republic Act 9353. Paragraph 1. By sexual intercourse. Number 1. Offender 1. Man. Number 2. Offender carnal knowledge of woman. Number 3. Circumstance. A. By using force of intimidation or B. When woman is deprived of reasons or otherwise unconscious or B or C. Means by the fraudulent machinations of grave abuse of authority or D. When the woman is under 12 years of age. Demented. Paragraph 2. By sexual assault. Number 1. Offender commits acts of usual in sexual assault. Number 2, acts of sexual intercourse, a sexual assault. A. By inserting his penis into the other person's mouth or in the surface. B. By inserting any instrument or object into genital or the anal surface of his another person. 3. Sexual act. Accomplish other circumstance mentioned in paragraph 1. Qualified rape. Number 1. When by person or the occasions of rapes is a homicide is committed. Number 2. Victim under 18, the offender parents, guardians, relatives by con- consequently and affinity of the third civil degree of the common law, spouse of parents or victim. Number 3. Victim other circumstance of the police of the military authorities or other law enforcement of the penal institution. Number 4. Rape in full view and husband or parents, any of the children or other relatives within 3 civil degree of the consanguinity. 5. Victim of a religion engaged of the legitimate religions, vacations, or calling of his personally known as the such by the offender before or at the time of the commission of crime. Number 6. Victim child below 7 years of age. Number 7. Offender known as she is afflicted with HIV or AIDS or any other several transmittable transmittable disease and the virus or disease of transmitted to victim. 8. Offender any member of AFP of paramilitary unit there of or PNP or any law officer of agency of the penal institution taking advantage of his position of facilitated commission of the crime. Number 9. When by the reason of the occasion of the rape is victim has surface performance of physical mutilation or disability. Number 10. Offender known as the pregnancy of the offender or party of at the time of the commission of the crimes. And number 11. Offender known as the mental disability, emotional disorder, and or the physical and handicap of the offended party at the time of the commission or of crime. Other articles under crimes against person. Article 250, penalty of the frustrated parricide, murder, and homicide. Article 258, abortion and practiced by the woman herself or by her parents. Number 3. Article 159, abortion practiced by the physical physicians of magnified of the dispensing of abortives. Article 260, responsibility of the participants in a Jew. Article 261. Challenging to the duel.